Hi, welcome to All Things Good. Today I'm going to be producing the first video on a series of videos about shaving, and I'll be reviewing products and telling you what I like and what I do and what might be suitable for you. And I intend to make these extremely rich and highly informative because if you're someone like me, I like to drill down to the very, very nitty gritty of a particular topic and investigate and explore all of those things. Because it was my birthday, I got given a massive amount of um, gifts, which I'm really privileged and blessed to have. And so I thought, because of my blessings, I'd share that information and knowledge with you as well. So, because we spend so much of our life, many of us shaving, especially men, it's very important to understand what we're shaving for and what we want out of a good shave. So this videos are mainly for men, but who shave will also find this very, very useful. So the first thing that we're looking for when we shave is safety. So if we use a particular method that's dangerous or that's highly risky, that presents a whole bunch of problems. For example, if we use a cutthroat and you have an accident, no matter how experienced you are, accidents do happen, then it presents a tremendous risk to oneself. Now, cutthroats are so dangerous that they can be lethal to a child and they can be lethal to a human being. Let's say you're taking warfarin or you're on blood thinners. The risk for using a cutthroat is just not worth it. So safety is very important, not just to yourself, but others. So that should be your first priority, is looking for a safe shave. The second priority is, does this irritate you? Is it going to take off skin? Are you going to end up with razor rash? Are you going to end up with an infection? So we're looking for the minimum amount of irritation from a shave. The third thing that we look for is, does it produce a good job? So does it produce the closeness that we're looking for? And by closeness, I look for a close shave. But some men, say African Americans, they have curly hair that will curl into their skin. So an extremely close shave might not be the best shave for somebody with a particular skin type or with bumps of their skin. So they might look for a shave that's not as close as, say, someone that has very, very, very strong skin without much irritation. The third thing that we look for is, does it produce a good job? How clean is the shave? How many, for example, if we use a safety razor and we use a certain blade and certain foam, how many passes do we have to do? Does it produce the closeness? Does it do the job that we want it to do? And considering the quality of the shave, we're looking at how long does a shave take. For example, if you're a shift worker, you might not have the time to spend 15, 20 minutes shaving as some other people might set aside for. So how long does it take for you to shave? Some people can do a shave in a couple of minutes, less than 5 minutes. Some people need a little bit longer and multiple passes. So this speed and time factor is important to some as well. The next point is, how comfortable is the shave? If the shave makes you wince and you're in pain, you're unlikely to want to use that method. So I've had many, many painful shaves, and my skin is sensitive, and I have hair that comes out of my chin that basically resembles steel wire. And I've had professional shaves done at barber shops with cutthroat. They look at my chin stubble and they just shake their head going, wow. And they use lots of hot water, and it takes lots of time. And inevitably, even with a professional shave, I'll get cut many times when they shave my stubble. So comfort and pain is a big factor. The next thing is, how convenient is your shave? Are you doing this in the shower? Are you doing it in front of a vanity with a sink? Are you doing this on the go? Do you travel? So how much equipment are you going to have? What type of equipment do you need to have? So for example, brushes take time to dry. And if you're on the road, then chances are you don't want to lather with a brush because the brush will remain wet. So you might just want to do a hand lather and put that directly onto your face. So how convenient is your shave? How much prep do you need? Where are you going to do your shave? And how portable is your shave? And If it's always going to be at home and you've got lots of time, then you might want to invest the time to learn how to do that cutthroat shave if that's what tickles your fancy. The next thing is the cost of the shave. And there are two costs involved. One is the setup cost, and the second thing is what's the running cost. So if you're using particularly expensive products versus cheaper products, the running cost might be higher. However, you might say, for example, with certain products, they might last longer, even though they're expensive, or produce a less irritation and better closeness for you. So you might want to spend a little bit more to get a better quality product that will do the job that you're looking to achieve. So the running cost and the setup cost, because the setup cost for this is much cheaper than say this. The setup cost is quite high for a DE, for the most part, if you buy a very quality double-edged razor blade, razor handle. But the running cost, for example, might be cheaper. So you might be able to get 5 shaves out of a razor, whilst some cartridges, you might get a single use or 5 uses. Some cartridges you might be able to get a month out of, depending on how you shave. So for example, I would shave in the shower to extend the life of my cartridges. So whilst I'm in the shower, my skin is constantly wet under steam, and I would do a hand lather and use a cartridge razor. And I did that for many years. And the finish and the quality of the shave was not as good as I wanted, and I had a lot of irritation. And so I would change my technique and change the method that I would use over time. So it comes to my final point is, what's the learning curve? Because DEs can cut you, So there's a safety factor and there's a learning curve. So if you're using, say, a feather, which is a very, very sharp razor, and you use a particularly aggressive handle, then you're going to end up with a very, very potentially dangerous and high irritation shave. And if you use, for example, an aggressive DE with an aggressive blade and a very foamy, weak lather, chances of you cutting yourself are almost 100%. So you want to look at the learning curve, and you want to match your equipment to the shave that you want to achieve. And I'll answer all of these questions in later videos. And I'm going to be talking about edge geometry, whether you flip the blade, what's the best razor, what's the best cartridge for me, and what I like about them and what they achieve. I'll be talking about pre-shaves, aftershaves, soap versus creams, different types of brushes, different types of bowls, and different types of double-edged razor blades, because these are making a resurgence, and they're making a resurgence for good reason, is because they actually produce a much better result once you've and a much cheaper running cost once you've learned how to use it properly. Although they can get extremely pricey, so don't get me wrong, you can have the most expensive shave with a double-edged razor, and the learning curve it's moderate. Whilst the learning curve for, say, something like the cutthroat, the learning curve is very high, and the maintenance of that is quite incredible. You have to learn if you're going to ground out the edge yourself, whether you use a whetstone and stropping it, and how you're going to maintain your equipment. That's also very important. So I'll be covering maintenance and all these other issues in future videos. Anyway, to recap, safety, irritation, the finish and whether it produces a good job, the speed at times it take, the comfort, the pain level, the convenience of the shave, the cost of setup and running cost, and the learning curve. So they're the 8 points about what we want from a shave and how we should approach it. Thank you for watching my first video on shaving. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video, and send this to people who you think can benefit from learning how to shave safely and properly and what they want out of a shave. Thank you for watching my first video on shaving.